The whole scenario.
Oh, here we go. Okay, we're doing a take 2. You guys didn't know what happened the first time because I didn't post it and we're not live. But this is Dr. Munoz. And I've got little Justin here. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. And I have Penny down here, but you can't see her. You might see her later. And we're here with our first installment of our summer reading book series that I'm so happy to bring to you now that summer school is over. And maybe you might find yourself a little bit restless and you might want someone to read to you. So today, I'm just going to let you know right out the gate that you find me like this, totally no makeup, not trying to put on makeup, because I also am on vacation. But I had a really fun day with my kids. We went out to a water park, and so we spent all day over there, and now we're resting and unwinding and getting ready to basically go to bed. But I did want to take some time and spend some time with you and introduce our first book. So this book that I brought to you today is called Smarty Pants, Pete in School. So he's a dog who really shouldn't be allowed in school, but found his way in. And it's a story about the different things that he has done making his way into school. So I think you'll find it fun and also very colorful, as well as the illustrations are very unique. So just a little plug for secondhand books. If you're ever looking for any, go to the community thrift store in West Covina on Arrow Highway. That's where I found this book and a whole bunch of others for $1, $2, where normally you can't get them for any more than $10 or $15 at the regular store. So just for any parents interested in looking for books, that would be the place to go. So again, this is Smarty Pants, Pete in School by Myra Kelman. So Penny's getting up. Oh, she's just hanging out right now. So I'm going to read to you and then show you the pictures. My name is Puppy Wise. This is my brother Mookie, who I sometimes call Schmookie Skellandroopy. So that's Puppy Wise, and then this is her brother.
Mommy, I have a timeout.
No, you don't have timeout. And this is our dog Pete, a wonderful dog who wonders only about one thing: eating what he should not. He already ate an accordion, all of it, Mookie's Stinky Sneaker, and the underpants of Uncle Rocky. Ew, but it didn't stop there. He ate the remote control, and we had to press his stomach to turn the channels. So here's their dog Pete, and there he is laying down so they could change the channels. Hopefully no one has a pet like that at home, huh?
Mom, I want to see the
See?
no, I want to see the snake.
We're not there yet. And on summer vacation,
Mom, I get ready for it.
excuse me, and on summer vacation when we went to visit the world's largest cheese, he ate it. He is incorrigible. He is Pete. Do you want to tell our friends what you ate earlier today?
Yeah.
Did you eat cheese?
Yeah.
What else did you eat? Now, the sweet summer is over. There's Justin with bunny ears. I must climb down from my leafy tree and go to school. School. You never know when you will be embarrassed in front of the whole class and someone will whisper, "What an idiot." You never know when someone will laugh at the ugly sweater your aunt sent you, and you never know when there will be a pop quiz, but you know there will be one, and you think, "Ugh, I hate school." Not at Frank Wright, though. But then something wonderful happens, like you win the handball game, or you understand long division, or you write a story with absolutely no spelling mistakes, and the teacher writes a good note on your paper. Or it's Friday, and you get ice cream for lunch, and you get that tingly, melty feeling, and then you think, "I love school." That's how you guys feel on pizza day, huh? Mookie and I walk to school with Doreen Parsley and Butch Barker, who kicks his ugly pebble all the way, I'm sorry, not his ugly pebble, his lucky pebble, all the way to school.
Is that snake?
Yes. The pebble waits patiently in Butch's pocket until school is out. The pebble enlarged 10 times. That's the pebble that he kicks.
I don't like snake.
Pete stays home alone. But why? Once, during show and tell, Butch brought his snake, Judy. Judy slithered away and couldn't be found. Everyone went nuts. They found Judy curled up in Doreen's boot. Since then, the rule is no pets in school. There are rules for everything in school. Sometimes they make you want to yell at somebody. Hopefully not at Dr. Munoz or Mr. Carranza. There's the snake.
No, Mommy, I want to show that to bed.
Huh?
Can I show it to bed?
Oh, Daddy's sleeping right now. But never at Miss Honeybee. Miss Edwina Honeybee is our principal. She has bouncy hair and a little songbird named Milton. Milton is not a pet. He is a Milton. Miss Honeybee is a honey. She says things like mistakes bring good and chin up. Speaking of math, our teacher is Mr. Grumpy Spitzer, the gribbliest teacher on earth. He lost his patience in a suitcase in Topeka, and now when he is nervous, his hair twitches and his nostrils get huge. We are studying infinity, which is the longest thing you can never see the end of because it has no end, like this math class. Mr. Spitzer asks an impossible question. If you know the answer, like Mookie, the math whiz, you have wave your hand frantically, and say, oh, pick me. But if you have not done a stitch of work, like Poppy Not So Wise, and don't want to be called on, you must avoid eye contact. How many of you guys do that? You don't look at the teacher on purpose, and then the teacher calls on you. So you avoid eye contact at all costs and start sharpening your pencils with frantic fervor, which is what I was doing when there was a medium-sized rumpus, and in ran Pete, who was lonely at home. So here's the teacher and avoiding eye contact, right? So in ran Pete, who was lonely at home, and before you could say quadratic equation, he ate the blackboard, the fractions in a box marked fractions, and Mr. Spitzer's pants. Uh-oh. That can't be a good day. Mr. Spitzer was not happy and very angry and 10 times 10 furious, which is 100% furious. Hi, bud. Oh, you're getting thirsty? Okay. Pete ran into Miss Magma's science class. Miss Magma gives us frogs to dissect and says, if you are going to be a doctor, you better get used to it. And I say, I'm not going to be a doctor. And she says, well, you never know. And I mutter, no, you never know. And she says, I heard that, Poppy Wise. Because there's a science teacher with the frog on her head.
Why is she mad?
Because she didn't want to cut it open. We are studying change. You change your mind. You must change your socks every day. The seasons change. Liquids change into solids, and funnels and test tubes and microscopes can change from visible to invisible when Pete eats them. Miss Magma is boiling mad, which means that her temperature has shot up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Miss Magma has a meltdown. So there's the teacher. You could see her head looks like an exploding volcano.
Mommy, what'd you say?
Look, she's so mad. Look what happened to her hair. It turned into a volcano. There's lava coming out of it.
Why?
Because she's angry. We change rooms fast, and take Pete to Miss Lulu Crumple's art class. Art is where there are no rules. That's not true. There's rules in art class. Miss Crumple is an artist with an open mind, so when Pete
Mom.
eats all the crayons, yes,
Can you open it?
sure. When Pete eats all the crayons, Miss Crumple is tickled pink and says, I have never seen such a colorful dog. We race into Mr. Mooseburger's orchestra where Pete eats all the instruments, including the tubas.
Mommy, Mom,
What?
I seen the crayons.
Yeah, crayons. Mookie was singing with joy
Mommy.
because he had not practiced his violin
Mommy.
all summer.
Mommy, why seeing the crayons?
Because he's a crazy puppy.
Mommy, why is that mad?
That's not mad, that's laughing. Who else do you know that eats crayons, Buds? Bud?
The puppy.
What puppy?
The puppies eat crayons.
Do our puppies eat crayons?
No.
Squibbles doesn't eat crayons?
No.
Yes, he does.
He's crazy.
He's crazy.
Yeah, when you get them, then you have scared up.
Yeah. Lunchtime. Yay! We scream and yell and food falls out of our mouths. We have so much fun. The teachers don't. They sit together and talk about headaches and why they are not far, far away climbing Mount Everest.
Mommy, they're crying.
And they're crying. And while
Mommy,
Twitchy
why they're
Spitzy was
crying?
getting a cup of tea, Pete
Mom.
gobbled up his
Mommy.
sandwich and his pants again.
Mommy, why are they crying?
I think they're laughing.
Mommy, why are no, these guys are crying.
These guys? I don't know. We'll see.
Mommy, why are they crying?
Mr. Spitzer was agog at a dog running amok and causing havoc. A rule is a rule. No dogs in school. Pete must go, 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 go. And then we hear the dreaded words, to the principal's office. Oops, not sure if you could see it.
Mommy, why is he crazy right now?
I don't know. Here, put this right here so you don't drop it. When Pete got there, Miss Honeybee was called away on an emergency. Someone had thrown magnets in the toilet. The room was quiet except for the sweet singing of Milton. Pete looked around. He saw many things that looked delicious. There was an umbrella. There was a tumbleweed that had tumbled from Sweetwater, Texas. But Pete was not interested in those things. Pete gobbled up. So like you can see, there's Pete thinking about what he should do. Pete gobbled up, no, not Milton, are you crazy? He ate the 26-volume encyclopedia about everything there is to know about everything by Professor Zelda Peabody. How they expect you to learn everything is a mystery to me. I know when I feel sick, I know how to spell onomatopoeia. I know how to flip a fried egg. I know how to play the ukulele. I know many, many things, but I don't know everything. Is such a thing possible? That night, Pete was curled up in a corner while we were doing our homework. Mookie asked, what galaxy is our solar system in? I was doing my own work. I was busy and cranky and I didn't want to help Mookie. Poppy, what galaxy is our solar system in? Mookie, leave me alone. From far away, Pete sighed, smacked his lips, and said, the Milky Way. Pete
Mom,
answered that.
You can't hear the story. The minute is on.
I know. It's okay. You'll still be able to hear. Excuse me, we said. Pete repeated. The Earth is the third planet from the Sun in our 9-planet solar system, which is part of the Milky Way galaxy. What? Pete, are you speaking? Obviously, you do not expect me to be a sentient being, but empirically speaking, you cannot deny that I am speaking. Therefore, I am speaking. We did not understand one word of that. Pete explained, I ate the encyclopedia, and I am really smart. Are you being a good listener, bud? Yeah. He told us about flora and fauna. He explained gravity,
Mom,
and then he was very
Mommy,
grave. What?
Mommy, they're crying.
Yeah. He told us
Mom,
about the
Mommy,
Gumdrop
why are
Mountains in
crying?
China. I don't know. He told us who invented presents. He explained how a light bulb works and what a shrew eats and why a person cries. And believe me, there are so many reasons a person cries that it would take 3 or 4 books to list all the reasons. We were so excited that we decided to sneak Pete back to school disguised as our cousin Pearl Buttonweiser. Milton thought Pearl looked familiar, but he thought, I am just a bird. What do I know? You like this story, bud?
Yeah.
We went to English with Mr. Dividar da Vinci, who worships the Thesaurus. He says things like, if by chance, serendipity, luck, you find a legitimate, valid, rational reason to eat, devour, consume a radish, then by all means do so. How great is that? Pete recited a poem by Gertrude Stein. Did he, did we, and did he, did he, did he, did he, did, he, did, he did. Mr. DeVecchi said, you may think Gertrude Stein is crazy,
Mom.
insane, nuts, delirious, cuckoo, but I
Mom.
love her dearly. Yes.
Why does he have scary hand?
I don't know. Butch thinks DeVecchi is insane, nuts, delirious, cuckoo, but I love DeVecchi dearly. So here's the teacher and him reciting a
Mom.
poem. What, babe?
What is that?
This? That's Pete the puppy, dressed in clothing.
Oh, yeah.
Back in math, Mr. Spitzer was talking about pentagonal pyramids and triangular prisms, which reminded me of rainbows, which reminded me of flying a kite on a breezy day. Puppy Wise, stop daydreaming. Pete said, what is wrong with a reverie filled with pleasing visions? Mr. Spitzer stared at Pete. He noticed a wagging tail. He smelled a rat. Mr. Spitzer was no dummy. Is Pearl Buttonweiser Pete the dog? To Miss Honeybee now.
Mommy, the dog smell a rat?
Well, he could tell he was a dog.
Oh, he's a rat?
No, he's a dog. We all went to Miss Honeybee to spill the
Mommy.
beans. What, babe?
Mom.
What?
He's a dog?
He's a dog, yeah. Pete apologized to Mr. Spitzer a million, billion, trillion times.
Mommy.
That's a lot of times.
Mommy.
Mr. Spitzer started to
Mom.
smile. What, babe?
He's a dog too?
Yes, he's a dog. Miss Honeybee stared
Mom.
out the window.
Mommy,
What, babe?
he's not a dog anymore?
No. Miss Honeybee stared out the window, which is an excellent way to think,
Mommy,
and
where
said,
is that puppy?
rules are sometimes meant to be broken.
Mom.
Pete may stay.
Mom, where is that puppy?
That's Pete. That's him. So you could see Pete's being sent to the office, and then here Pete is in the office, and the principal lets him stay.
He's a puppy, Bubba.
Yeah, puppy, pup.
Puppy.
The rest of the day, Pete was the star of the school. We did not have to say one word. Pete answered every question. There was no better dog or better day in school. What do you think? Would you take Squibbles to school? No. That night, we actually looked forward to doing our homework. Pete, what is the smallest mammal on Earth? Pete looked blanked. Pete, what is a trapezoid? Pete looked blanker. Pete, what is a gerund? Nothing. Pete, what is the Bill of Rights? Zip. Pete was no longer speaking. Pete was clueless. Oops, sorry. He had digested all the information and it was no longer in him. Pete was back to being dear, sweet Pete. It had been an amazing day. I had learned many things. I learned that the dodo bird is extinct, that people still eat liverwurst, that if I ran a school, you would get extra credit for daydreaming, that there is no end to learning. You could say it is infinite, that sometimes people who are strict turn out to be nice, and people you can't stand can be interesting. That school is like life with good days and bad days, and that you never ever know when you least expect it, you will have a pop quiz. The end. So I hope you guys like this story, and I'll be back in another day or two with more. I'm going to post this up on YouTube now, and follow it with a Facebook post so you can